Hello, socialites. Welcome back to Survivor Social. This is our podcast where we talk about Survivor and the game with a, focus on the social lens, social part of the game. My name is Tegwyth, and I am joined with my incredible, amazing, beautiful, incomparable co-host, Kara. How are you, Kara?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited for this episode. So sad that this is, the farewell episode. How are you
Farewell.
doing?
I'm very sad. Happy that, I feel like this season ended on such a good note, and so I'm really excited to,
Mhm.
talk about it, and, I'm very happy that this is, the last episode is, being able to talk about, a great in my opinion, a great season with a great ending, but, I'm sad, but, happy, sad, I have so many feelings. How are you
Mhm.
doing?
I'm good. I mean, I agree, like, this season, it was such a good end to the season, and I know, a lot of people maybe didn't like this one, but I personally enjoyed it. I enjoyed the cast, and I enjoyed the season, so I'm happy we're going out on a good note. So
I agree, and so, Kara, before we get into it, the episode, as always, make sure you like and subscribe to Survivor Now on YouTube and Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, Survivor Now Podcast. And as always, we're live. So if you want to chat, comment, all of that good stuff, we love to, talk about all of that with you guys. But I do want to. My first question, Kara, for you is, and you kind of answered it a little bit, but obviously people weren't super hyped on this season throughout the season. There was a lot of hype pre-jury, and then post-jury, people were a little bit iffy on it. Now that you're able to kind of look at the season as a whole with this now arc, how are you feeling about, the ending?
Mhm. I love the ending. I'm so happy that Kyle won the season, is the winner of the season. Like, that was such a good moment. And I feel like everything just makes sense. Like, he played the game how he needed to play the game to win. And, like, he didn't need to make, I mean, he did make moves. Like, the Shaheen vote, he made the pre-merge move with Camilla. But, like, anything more than that would have just been too much. Like, he did what he had to do to win. So, like, and even, I don't know, I feel like everyone it's like sometimes the simplest game is just the game you need to play, and that's just how it is. You don't need to make flashy moves all the time to play a good game.
Yeah, and Kyle said it really well, throughout the season. You win the game in the margins. There have been some really big, flashy winning games. But I
Mhm,
think that, I actually thought this through the majority of the season. I thought Kyle and Camilla both had an incredibly well-rounded game. They were
mhm,
strategic, they were social, they were physical. They did what they needed to do. They knew when to kind of hold their cards closer to the chest when they felt like they had to. And they both really realized that only one could sit at the end. And I think that it was so well thought out. And I truly think that Kyle's winning game, and it could have been Camilla's if Camilla maybe had won some motion, or, had made it to the end, or won
mhm.
fire or something. One of the best winning games of the new era. I think that that he really kind of was so well-rounded. Now granted, that could also be recency bias, but I think that they really kind of thought everything through, and they didn't do
Mhm.
stuff just to do stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, and I feel like Camilla and Kyle even talking about only how one of them can go to the end before they even did the final challenge just shows, how close their relationship was, and how much they were, rooting for each other as well too, because they wanted either one of them to win, but they knew they couldn't do it
Yeah.
they couldn't both be there to win. So I feel like them even just having that conversation of it just shows their relationship and how close they were.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we've got some people in the comments over here. Al just sent us some hearts. What's up, Al? How are you? Ollie in the comments. Ollie's the best. They're my queens. Love you, taking care of. Love you, Ollie. OMG. Um, Brian says, "Hey guys, great seeing you both at the finale. If you didn't know, Kara and I
Mhm.
both went to the Bryson One finale party and had a blast doing it."
So much
Kara, I know
fun.
that this is not about the episode, but how was it? Survivor Now had, that live
Mhm.
podcast there. How did you enjoy doing that?
It's so much fun getting to just, be with the whole Survivor Now crew and, like, get to do a little something before the Bryce and Gwen event and talking to everyone is just so much fun and getting to talk to the fans. It really is so much fun getting to do that, and the Bryce and Gwen parties are always so much fun. How
Absolutely.
I've said so much fun so many times, but it really just is.
But they're the best. They're the best in being able to talk to
They
people about
are.
Survivor, the whole thing. It's so good. And
Mhm.
we've got Chris here in the comments. Chris says, it's funny because anyone who thinks Kyle didn't play the game, Flashy clearly didn't remember episode 4, LOL, and the outcome of that move resulted in a spot in the majority alliance.
It's true.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very, very true. And I think that okay, let's start at the beginning of the episode, right? So the Shaheen vote, everyone feels good. They're feeling good because basically everybody there feels like it was their move, right? Eva and
Yeah.
Joe felt like it was their move. I think Mitch was happy that he wasn't gone, and obviously Kyle and Camilla felt like it was their move. So all of them were happy that that happened. And then we go to the challenge. Camilla losing the challenge, and then comes back to win the challenge. What was that like watching her
Oh
win?
my god. That was so fun to see her come from behind and take the win in that challenge. It was so exciting to see her win another challenge too when after
Mhm.
we saw her win the first time, she's like, "I'm not gonna win any," and then she won one, and then to win another one with being so far behind,
Yeah.
that was an amazing moment.
That was incredible, especially the moment she put that first piece of that puzzle in there. I remember thinking,
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah, she's got it. She's got it." That was so much fun to watch her come from
So
behind,
good.
especially in that large group of people where everyone was rooting for her to win, and I think that, like, her getting the necklace right there was a very interesting kind of moment because I think in another season, Kyle would have been the vote there.
Mm.
Do you agree?
I feel like that would have made sense because I mean, I don't really see I guess out there they had a different view on the players and everything and where they found Mitch to be a threat, but I feel like Kyle was probably the best choice to go at that point,
Mhm.
and I guess they just didn't see that he was that big of a threat to them.
Yeah, and I think that, like, it's interesting because when I rewatched the episode, Camilla said, "In theory, Kyle is the person that obviously is the biggest threat to my game." But and I
Mhm.
don't know exactly what her wording was, but basically she said, "I think that I just want one of us sitting at the end, and if
Yeah.
we go 2 duos, it's guaranteed that at least one of us is going to win, meaning that one of our winning game that we made together ends up winning." And I think that's a very interesting view to have on your gameplay, especially when you work in tandem with somebody like this for so long. And Eva kind of talked about it too. I think it was in her Final Trouble Council or in Final Four, whatever it was, where she said, sometimes I, could have looked out for myself, but I wanted to ensure my team. I wanted to ensure that my
Mhm.
team made it far. And it's very funny because Camilla, even though she didn't talk about it, ensured that her team made it to the end, and then her
Mhm.
team won. In another world, we could see her vote out Kyle, lead the charge on Kyle. Final four: Mitch, Camilla, Eva, Joe. Joe wins immunity probably. I mean, Mitch probably would go far, but Joe probably wins. He takes Eva, and I could see Mitch going to final three and Camilla out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, first, I honestly love that they were like, "One of us just has to be there, one of us has to win." I love that that was the outlook on it because it's like, a win for you is a win for me, who for whoever wins, so I love that, and, yeah, it could have gone that way where, Camilla gets Kyle out and then ends up going anyway, but I feel like that's not as satisfying as one of them just being there, and taking that risk of it might not be me, but it could be you, and that works for me, and I feel like that is a better outcome than neither of them being there.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Zan says Kyle and Camilla had an honor amongst thieves vibe with their snake in the grass, then the candor of having to vote each other out. Yeah, exactly. It's, you
Mhm,
know, honor amongst thieves. One of us should win this. We played the best game together. And I think if Camilla, goes and wins that final immunity challenge instead of, Kyle, Kyle would have been put in fire as well, and maybe Kyle wins, maybe Kyle doesn't. But I think there's something really cool in that kind of closeness of a duo.
Yeah.
And at that final Tribal Council where Eva was like, "I've got the best duo in the game," and Kyle's like,
Actually.
respectfully, I beg to differ. Just so interesting. I watched a
Mhm.
TikTok from our friend Ryan Irwin, basically talking about how he thinks that Kyle and Camilla have changed Survivor. Have you been able
Mm.
to see that video?
I didn't see that one, no.
So basically, what he is arguing in this scenario is that everybody from now on will want to have a secret duo. And everybody is going to try to replicate what Kyle and Camilla had. But do you think that this is a game that is going to be easily replicated? Because I don't think it is.
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like thinking about, like, if I was on, like, Survivor or something, like, that's something that, like, I always think, like, I would love to have, like, a duo like that, an undercover duo where no one knows about it, and that's how we play the game. But it's not always realistic, it always depends on, like, who's out there with you and what their goals are. So I feel like people will definitely try and replicate it, but is it ever gonna be as successful? Maybe not, you
No.
know?
Chris in the comments says, "I've got the best duo in the game. Kyle, hold my beer." That's real. And then over here
Yeah.
on TikTok, Blaze Boy, bless, I don't know how to pronounce that boy, says, "I don't think secret duos are this revolutionary thing." And that is true. They are not.
Mhm.
So many people in Survivor have wanted to have a secret duo. And it's very interesting because I was talking to another one of my friends about Big Brother versus Survivor, and specifically about the camp cookout, the Cookout Alliance in Big Brother,
Yeah.
and how like that kind of alliance in Survivor would never be able to work because in Survivor you are on a beach with so many people, and having a big alliance under the under the radar is so difficult because you the people that you work with are typically the people that you talk with, people that you hang out with, the people that you sleep next to, the people that you eat with, the people you go to the water well with. Whereas
Mhm.
because you're uncomfortable, so you want to be around people who, make it slightly better, and that's
Yeah.
usually your alliance. Whereas in Big Brother, you're comfortable, you're stuck in a house, but you're sleeping on a bed, you get to eat all this stuff. And so having a secret alliance is much easier in Big Brother. Not easy, just easier. And
Oh, for
so
sure.
I think it's this thing where people are always trying. They're trying to have an undercover duo. They're trying to find like a Malcolm to their Denise, or they're trying to find, this unexpected, this the Mason Dixon with Nick and Christian Ubicki. But it just never can work because it's so obvious because of who you're hanging out with. And have you been able to listen to any exit press yet?
A little bit. I've read some things, I've watched some things.
Yeah.
So
And so it was really interesting because Kyle was saying how um he obviously his number one was Camilla, but the
mhm.
people that he got to know the most were Eva and Joe and Shaheen
Yeah.
because that was his overt alliance. But he says he probably talked to Camilla a total of like 3 hours or something out there. I'm exaggerating, but um,
Mhm.
I just think it's this very interesting thing where I don't think it'll ever be able to be replicated.
Yeah, 'cause it happened naturally for Kyle and Camilla, I feel, where in future seasons, it's gonna be people trying to force something like that to happen and, like, going out there with the intention of, "I want this undercover duo," where for them, it kinda just happened for them, like, they had a lot in common on their initial tribe, and then they were swapped onto a tribe together, and then from there, it just kind of
Yeah.
continued on, so it was a
Yeah.
natural thing.
In another world, they wouldn't have been swapped together. Like, it was so
Yeah.
lucky that they were on every single iteration of a tribe together. Like, that's incredibly lucky.
Mhm.
Um, and and I think
Even
that
Joe and Eva weren't on every tribe together, like, they were
exactly,
apart for a little bit, so
exactly. So interesting how kind of that all ended up happening.
mhm,
And I really think that people are gonna try to replicate this, and I just think this is magic. It's
yeah,
what's it called? Magic in a bottle, lightning in a bottle, right? It's not, you can't really replicate this. It was just very lucky how it all worked out. And people are gonna try and people are gonna fail. It's like trying to do an all women's alliance after the Black Widow Brigade, right? Like it's
yeah,
unfortunately very difficult now because it was too successful the first time.
Yeah, I feel like things like this just have to happen naturally, and like things just have to fall into place, and then you go from there. Sometimes you
Exactly.
can't force something good to happen. It just has to
Exactly.
happen.
Exactly. So, I also want to talk about the Mitch vote. I feel like this Mitch vote was very interesting because this was the first vote the entire season, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, where it was not a blind side, not even a pretend blind side. It was, hey, sorry, man, you're going home. How
Yeah.
how do you think that that has to do with the shot in the dark? Why do you think we don't see a lot of, hey, man, you're going home?
I think it does have to do with the shot in the dark because with that in play, if they play it and it hits, then what? Then you don't know what's gonna happen. So I think you have to definitely be careful with that in play. And I mean, the Mitch vote was kind of weird how like they were so just straightforward with it. I feel like I don't know if I would like that if I was Mitch in that scenario where everyone's just telling me, yeah, like you're going home, there's something you can do, you know?
Yeah.
But
It's
I
a
guess at
very
that
weird
point,
scenario because it's not something we see that often anymore. It's not something that we see.
no,
It's usually like a scheme. I'm gonna figure out a way out of it. I've got this thing in my pocket. But at 5, there's not much you can do if you don't have an idol.
no.
If you don't have these other bonds that, hopefully can get you through. And so because he can't play his shot in the dark because he has nothing, it's easy to just kind of say, hey, it's you. And this is why I think the shot in the dark is good. Hot
Yeah,
take.
and I mean, this also could have gone like if you have like also like I guess this has to do with how Mitch is as a person. Like he was like pretty accepting that this was his fate at this point that he was just gonna go. But like there might be people who wouldn't be so accepting of something like this and try to do scheme and do something crazy, you know? And he kind of just like accepted it and he wasn't mad about it. He seemed fine with it.
Do you think that there's anything he could have done? Do you think he could have gone to Eva and been like, "Get out, Joe"? Like, I feel like none of them are going to be
No.
listening. I think the only person that would maybe listen is if he went to Camilla and said, "We got to get out Kyle." But I don't know.
I don't think anything would have worked,
Yeah,
but I mean, I
he
guess you never know
probably
because
tried
we
it.
saw I'm I'm sure he had to have, right? Like I mean, we've seen Joe and Eva flip on their own alliance twice. Like
Yeah.
maybe it could have happened again, you know? I don't know. I don't know if it would have maybe not coming I don't know if it would have worked coming from Mitch, but you never know. It'd be worth a shot.
Yeah, and I think that it was kind of a refreshing and I don't know if you were you spoiled by the commercial? Yeah.
So I heard about it and then I had to go and look once I heard
Yeah.
that that was a thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I same here. I had to go. I feel like I'm a Survivor reporter, right? I feel like I've got to know what's going on. As long as it's on,
Mhm.
like, as long as it's something CBS posts and not like Survivor spoiled posts, like I'll go, look at it. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, it made me way more excited for the finale because I think what I was dreading for the finale was a potential of a Kyle and Camilla going out fifth, and then after
Mhm.
that having maybe a 0 vote finalist or whatever else. And I think that the fact that and I like Mitch a lot. And I think that, we as viewers, when somebody goes out at this point, um, we don't really a lot of times you don't really get to see their game because a lot of times it's somebody who's a little bit more of a social person, right? Not every time, but a lot of the times. And I think that, we were kind of not raw, but we're kind of don't see his full game because it's hard to
Mhm.
watch a social game on a screen. It's hard to watch just somebody becoming friends with somebody, right? It's not as you don't really grasp it as much. But
Yeah.
seeing him going out, knowing that that was going to happen, I was like, oh, that's so exciting! Like at least Kyle and Camilla are making it to 4, meaning at least one of them is going to be in final 3. And I think I got way more excited about that. Um,
Yeah. I think it
now,
would have been stressful not knowing.
it would have been so stressful not knowing. Oh my god. So honestly, thank you, CBS. Only time you hear that from me this week. No, I
They knew
love
what they were doing.
they knew what they were doing, at least for me. Um, so after Mitch goes out, he's on the jury. It's a
Mhm.
final 4, and they go to do Samotion, which is Samotion is one of my favorite challenges to
Mhm.
do at the end. Kara, how do you think you do at Samotion?
Oh my gosh. I wanna think I would do good at it, but I feel like I would then get caught up and forget my right from left and get confused. But I
I
love that challenge.
I love that challenge because I think anybody can win it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is one where I truly believe any single person would be able to go in, and if they just are able to kind of get their mind right, they could win it. I could see a Camilla win. I could have seen an Eva win. I could see
Mhm.
any one of them win that at the end. And when it was
Yeah.
Joe and Kyle, I was freaking out. I was
Oh
freaking
my
out.
god.
And when Joe's ball dropped, oh my god, the
Oh,
scream I
so good for
screamed.
Kyle.
The scream I
It's
screamed. It was so exciting. I
so
cried.
exciting.
I was so, so stoked.
It's such
But
a good equalizer because, like,
such
literally anyone could win. Yep. Oh, I didn't even see him say that. Yes, exactly.
he just commented it. Look at that. It is. It's such a good equalizer. And I
Yeah.
think it's exciting because I think not knowing who's gonna win the challenge at the end is exciting, is exhilarating.
Mhm.
When it could be anyone's game, it's like, oh my God, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Um, and this was, I think, this is one of the times when I was rewatching this, I went, I'm happy about the final four fire making. I'm happy about the forced final four fire making in this instance, because I think any
Mhm.
other time it would have been a 3-1 vote, Camilla out.
Yeah.
And I think
I
it would have been
agree.
boring. I think it would have been boring because I think, if obviously Kyle wanted Camilla out because that was the biggest threat to his game. Joe was not going to vote for Eva. Eva was not going to vote for Joe. They couldn't vote for Kyle. So those two would only throw votes on Camilla. And if Kyle wants Camilla out for his own game, it's going to be Camilla. And so in this instance, don't hate me. I'm happy with the final four fire making.
I agree. I think it made it way more interesting than just a straightforward vote. And, like, we've had a few straightforward votes this season, so I feel like this was, like, a good exciting thing that happened. Do you think that if Camilla I mean, we obviously don't know the whole conversation that Kyle and Camilla had, but do you think Kyle was always thinking Camilla has to go into fire, or do you think there was a world where he was like, "I'll take her to final 3 with me,"
I
and
don't know.
then her saying that changed things for him?
I think he's a good guy, right? I think he probably would have felt like he needed to just to be kind of
Mhm.
a good guy, take her to the end. But I think if this were a game just for the title of Sole Survivor, he might have done it. But because it's a game for $1 million, I think he knew that he could beat Joe and Eva. And I think the one
Yeah.
person that because everyone loves an underdog, right? And if it's Kyle, Camilla, sorry, if it's Kyle, Joe, and Eva at the end, um, they're all none of them are an underdog. They're all,
Mhm.
the top dogs, right? They were all in the big alliance. But there's one person who did secret stuff behind everyone's back. So that's a good story, right? If
Yep.
it's Kyle, Camilla, and Joe or somebody, um, I I really think that Camilla is like, well, I was the one who was out of this big alliance. He
Yeah.
saved me. Our duo was so tight that he saved me. He didn't have to do that. And now I'm going to take this $1 million from him, right? Like there is
Mhm.
I think a way for her to spin it, and I think that people would have voted for her. And we see at the end that everyone
Oh, for
raised their hand.
sure.
It would have been unanimous.
Yeah. And it would have been exciting if she won.
Very, 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 very exciting if she won. But I think that this makes the most sense. I don't think that Kyle would have ever brought her to the end
Yeah.
because of that, you know?
Yeah, no, they really needed to be one or the other there for
Now,
whichever one of them was gonna win.
yeah. Now, hey, Kara, was this game rigged for Eva?
Ooh, like the fire
Everybody
or in general?
in general, but the fire, because everybody was like, he gave her a dud, like Flint.
Is that a thing? Can you get a dud flint?
I don't
I've never
know.
tried making fire.
I have. It's actually very hard. It's actually very hard to make fire.
It looks hard.
It's not easy, and I also I don't like the sound that the scraping of the
Mhm.
magnesium, it hurts my teeth, like, a lot.
Ugh,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's just, like, people are so silly. They'll always think this whole season was rigged for Eva, even though she didn't win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was rigged. I saw a thing I think it was Kyle saying how, like, the reason why they never targeted Eva with all her advantages is because they knew she had them and, like, they didn't want it to be, like, dispersed again where other people can get it and then they don't know,
Yeah.
which makes so much sense that they would, think that way. I don't think it was rigged. I think fire making is hard, and I think when you're under pressure like that, it makes it even harder. So, I mean,
And I don't know if you noticed, I don't think they had stools. I think they were standing. And I think in the past they
mm,
were given stools, and I think it might be harder to make when you're not sitting down. I could be
that makes
wrong.
sense.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I I really thought
I
that was
I
interesting.
can't remember the exact stats on this, but it was, like, something where, like, the amount of people that have won on, like, the purple station or the blue station, and, like, the one that Camilla was on, like, no one's ever won on the purple station, which
Interesting.
was interesting.
Very interesting. I think, for a while there, I think it was the yellow one you didn't want. But
Mhm.
yeah, that it kinda crazy, and, I wanted either Kyle or Camilla to win, so I would have been happy if she
Yeah,
made it to the end because a Camilla win would have been absolutely incredible. But I'm glad we got a Kyle win also. I think they both played
me
incredible
too.
games. Now, obviously Camilla loses, very sad and heartbreaking to watch
Mhm.
her go out. But now we have our final three. We've got Joe, Kyle, and Eva. How did you feel about their final Trouble Council performance? Did you feel like Kyle definitely did the best out of all of them? How did you feel how they all did?
I kind of felt like it was, like, kind of like an equal performance from all of them. I mean, we didn't really see too much from Joe, but I felt like what we did see from him, I was like, "Oh, like, that was a good answer." Like, when he talked about, like, him and Eva and when Chrissy, like, asked him the question, whatever, I was like, "Oh, like, that was a good answer that he gave." I felt like it was pretty even. I I don't know how much I really liked them just, like, saying what their profession was after not talking about it the entire game. I didn't really understand the whole point in that.
Yeah.
That I didn't really love. I don't know. I thought that was a
That
little weird.
I think that's a very weird I agree. I think that lying about your profession makes sense. I get that you don't wanna draw,
Yeah,
like, if you're a lawyer, and people know that you're a lawyer, they're gonna assume that you're gonna be good at arguing at the end, and maybe they don't wanna bring you to the end because, you're good at arguing, right? So I understand, lying about that. I
for
understand
sure.
Eva leaving that out of her, that she, is a fellow at Brown. I understand leaving all of that out. Now, dropping it, at the end, I don't think is the biggest, like, I don't know, I think that was risky, I'm not gonna lie, I think that was risky of
I
Kyle,
think so
because
too.
I think, like, there are some people who, if you go to the end and you say, "Hey, I've been fooling you all about who I am as a person," somebody could be like,
Mhm.
"What? That's so random and weird, and I hate that." Right? Like, that could be a reaction. Another reaction could be, "Oh, he's a lawyer, he'll make his money somewhere else, I wanna give it to somebody else who doesn't need it." You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a very risky move, and I don't think that that is the feather that they think it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was nervous when Kyle first told Camilla in, like, a few episodes ago. I was like, "Oh my god, like, what if now she doesn't want to continue working with him and vote him out or whatever?" And
Yeah,
then saying it at Final Tribal, I was like, "That," like you said, like, that's risky, like, people might not want to, like, you could have the best game, but then people just will be like, "Well, you don't need the $1,000,000, so we're just gonna give it to we're
yeah,
gonna give it to a firefighter," you know? Like, we're not gonna give it to a lawyer or a
exactly.
PhD student, you know?
Yeah.
It was definitely a risky move.
I think it was really risky. Chris says, "I think the profession thing is very much a you had to be there thing. It's different when you're living on the island with everyone," which I think is a very good point. But I think
You went this long, why not just wait until after after the vote, you know? Wait
exactly.
till the after show.
Exactly. I think that that would have been a really fun thing to drop in the after show. I don't necessarily think that's something
Mhm.
that needs to be revealed, at Final Triple Council, because I truly think that there are people that could take that the wrong way. Um,
For sure.
and another thing, I just don't also think that that was a huge highlight to Kyle's game. I think Kyle had
Mhm.
so many incredible moves that him lying about his profession, I don't think makes it to the top 5, right? Like, I
No.
think that he and Camilla's alliance was one big thing. The lying about Shaheen was another. Breaking up the California girls was another. Like, all of those things, because 2 out of the 3 California girls were there. Only one was on the jury, but I think that
Yeah.
there were like other, and he definitely said all this, right? Like it's a 3-hour long, 4-hour long thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not, the 20 to 30 minutes that we see. And he definitely said it. I just think it's silly that the things that the editors highlighted, one of them was the lawyer thing. But
Mhm.
it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Like, I would have loved to hear him talk about, like, him that when he did break up the California Girls with Camilla and how they played that and, that whole
Yeah.
vote, I feel like could have been highlighted more and because that was huge. I mean, yeah, it was pre-jury, but, like, that was a big thing
Yeah.
that happened.
Agreed. Agreed. Now, I want to talk about the big, big reveal. Before we go, I do want to say this was a very funny moment. Zan says it was funny when Kyle and Eva opened up and about their,
Yeah.
professions. And Joe was like, I'm just a dumb fire captain still. That
Yeah.
was so funny. That was so funny. And I think that fans underestimate how much making people laugh at Final Tribal Council, how far that goes. And I think one
Mhm.
of the reasons why Gabler won, other than what other things, but I think his Final Tribal Council performance where he made people laugh. I think that that's a huge deal, making things
Yeah.
light, reminding people that it's a game and it's funny and I know it's serious, but we're here to have fun. And I think that that was a really good moment from him, which I really liked. So I just wanted to highlight that. So thank you for bringing that up, Zans.
That was
Zans,
funny.
Zans. Um, but let's talk about the big reveal, in my opinion, the big moment that I got you. What was that like? What like that moment to me? I had goosebumps. I had goosebumps.
So good.
It was incredible.
It was such a good moment. Camilla just being like, "I got you," like, this is the moment. It was so, so satisfying for that to happen and just to see, like, her on the jury rooting for him to be like, "I'm gonna help you
Yeah.
lock this in," like they did the whole season. So good.
Absolutely, and I think that that goes to show that sometimes blindsiding your number 1 is fine. Sometimes blindsiding your number 1 is not, but I think one of the best ways to ensure that your number 1 is on your team at the end is honesty and
Mhm.
not having blood on your hands. We saw it when Kenzie and Tiffany is my big one going back to Tiffany was
Yeah.
Kenzie's biggest cheerleader on that jury. And the fact that even though Kenzie said, should we get out Tiffany? It wasn't her move. She didn't like lead that charge and not having and being able to sit at Final Trouble Council going, I had no idea you were going out. And I know that's not good on me, but like I would have had your back or whatever she said. I
Yeah.
think it's huge. And the fact that Kyle said, I need you have to go fight because I think you're my biggest competitor or whatever. And her being able to say, I think I would have won had I gone to the end instead of just being blindsided, I think is huge.
Mhm. It is. It really is. Like, having a cheerleader on the jury is huge
It's huge.
compared to not having one. For having someone that you made mad and then they're rooting against you, and then that changes the way people think about things.
Absolutely. And the moment when Eva was like and I love Eva, but when Eva was claiming that Shaheen move, I was just like giggling, like kicking my feet, going, Kyle, say it, say it,
It's so
say it.
good.
So good.
But it was just so good how, like, the setup for it, how, like, even Joe, they were under the impression that this was all them, and it was like, "Actually, no, like, this is what was happening.
Yeah.
You guys
And I
were
think
duped."
also it goes back to having things be just so organic. You don't want to
Mhm.
force a hidden duo, right? It's hard to do. And at Final Triple Council, forcing an explanation, I think doesn't. It's like look at me, look at me, look at me. But having somebody else tee you up for an incredible like expose, basically,
Yeah.
I think is exactly what a person needs at Final Trouble Council. You can sit there and argue what you did all day long, but having somebody else like have a different view or tee you up or
Mhm.
whatever it is and be able to organically bring something up, I think is such a big moment. Because remember, my big
Yeah.
saying, Tribal Council is theater and Final Tribal Council is Broadway. Final Tribal Council is like, Tony voters are in the audience right now. You got to give your best performance. And so the
Yeah.
fact that they were able to do that so organically was just stunning, stunning.
And There was that other moment during Final Tribal where I think it was Chrissy who, or I don't remember exactly who it was, but someone said like, "What's something like we don't know about your game?" And it was like a good opportunity where Kyle could have brought that moment up with the Shaheen vote, and he didn't. That's when he talks about his like job and
I
everything.
think it was
But like,
Star.
if he Star, yes, but if he said it at that moment, it would not have had the same impact, I think, as it did when he did eventually say it, like, after Eva said it, whatever. So, like, the timing was everything too with that,
And I
so
remember thinking in that moment, "Why aren't you saying it? What are you doing? The
Mhm.
question is right there." And that is on Kyle knowing his competitors. And I think this
Yeah.
shows, Kyle played lacrosse in college. And I think, when you play like sports or just like anything super competitive at a higher level, you study the people that you are going to be competing against. You know kind of their strengths and weaknesses, not through and through, but you have a good idea. And Kyle, I bet you Kyle knew they think it's their move. They think they did that.
Mhm.
So if they are going to argue it, I'll let them bring it up first because in the moment I was like, "What?" I was like freaking out. And then I was like, "He knew better than me, period. Sorry. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
take it all back." And he just made it perfectly.
Yeah. He read the jury well.
He read the jury well, and his competitors, all of it. Zan says that is such a good point, Kara. Chris says, "Yeah, for sure, would have been said a bit too early." Brian, 100% agree,
Mhm.
Kara. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that
Yeah.
just goes to show how well-rounded he is.
Yeah. He really is. He is, like, the perfect, like, soul survivor.
And he got to throw in about his bubble butt. Like, that is
Yeah.
exactly what I would do at
Making
Final
them
Trouble.
laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make them laugh. That's exactly what I would do. Find a way to be able to talk about my butt during Final Trouble Council. That is my dream. That's actually my dream. Being able to weave in how great my butt is. That's what I would do at Final Trouble Council. Like, that's incredible.
Honestly,
That's so
underrated
funny.
moment. That was so funny.
It was so funny. And just, I don't, did you, did you watch, pardon me, Kyle posted a video where he told his wife, then fiance, that he won. Have you seen that video?
No, oh my gosh, I need to go see that.
You gotta watch it. It's so, so good. But like he tells her, she's very excited, obviously. And she says something like, "I knew you went far, you're just so skinny." And he lifts his shirt. You can see in the mirror, he lifts his shirt. And I'm just so cut. And it's just like Kyle always bringing it back to like, look at these abs.
Oh
Incredible.
my god, that's gonna be the first thing I watch after we're done. I
You
need
have
to
to.
see that.
You have to. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, that is another thing we forgot to bring up. Chris says, "What about the knock knock? Who's there? Not me." I'm obsessed with David. I'm sorry. I'm
I know.
obsessed with him.
So funny. The silence and, like, the cutting to everyone was just so funny. David just delivered the entire time, but I
Yeah,
have to say I was actually a little disappointed that he wasn't actually upset with
me too.
them, and I was hoping he was gonna be, you know,
Me too.
bringing some spice, but
Me
he still
too.
delivered.
That was so funny. The knock knock, who's there, not me. That's going into my everyday vernacular. Like, Ryan picks up the phone, I just go, "Knock knock, who's there, not me," hang up. Like
Uh,
that's gonna be a conversation. He'll be at work and I'll call him and he'll be like, "Why would you call me?" I don't know why I made him Miss Frizzle. But why would you call me? Just had to remind you, not me, and then hang up. Like, it's just so good.
it was so funny, so funny.
I think the finale was so good, and obviously we've said that like 1,000 times. How do you
Mhm.
feel that, this season will rank for you in the like new era of it all?
You know, it's honestly, like, higher on my list. Like, I really did enjoy the season, and I don't know if it's because, like, of I feel like a lot of it is because of the cast and because I, like, really am so happy that Kyle won and, like, I loved him and loved his game and everything, but it is honestly, like, higher up on my list where I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of people probably have it lower.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I told you so to some people, but I'm gonna say it. I told you so. I really felt like people were way too low when people weren't quote making the moves because I truly think that as a whole, the season as a whole was so good and so
Mhm.
balanced. Pre-merge, incredibly chaotic. Post-merge, not chaotic. Moves how they needed to happen, like moves when
Mhm. It
they
was
needed to happen.
intentional.
It was all intentional, and I really respected that, and I think that there were some huge moves, like manipulation to get David out, manipulation to get Shaheen out,
Mhm.
and then, you know, laying the Al Gabler effect, laying in the shadows when you didn't need to. I think
Yeah.
it was so incredible and so good. I think this is probably gonna be one of my top faves. Now ask me again in, like, 3 years, new era, it might not be the same, but, like, I would argue for me, it goes 47, 48, 46 as my top 3 favorite. Like,
Oh,
I
mhm.
really loved this last iteration, and I love 45, and, I think new era is a lot better than people give it credit for, but I just
I
really
agree.
feel like the winner, I think, puts the season into perspective, at least for me.
Mhm.
And I think that it was real good.
So good. I have literally never been happier to watch someone win one of these shows. Like, seeing Kyle win was so exciting. I was so happy for him. Like, I don't ever remember being so happy to watch someone win something like win Survivor or win Big Brother, you know? Like, it was just so exciting. I was just so happy for him, and it was just a good ending to a season.
Yeah. Kara and I both said, I think it was you and I, at, Ron
Mhm.
Clark, there was a moment. It was Ron Clark, right? No, you weren't at Ron Clark. Yes, you were.
I was.
There was a
Mhm.
moment where they were introducing, was it you? It was somebody else.
Oh,
They
no,
were
wasn't me. I wasn't there when they
introducing,
came.
all of the, like, 48ers, and there was this smile Kyle had where Stephanie, I think it was Stephanie, like, looked up at Kyle, and there was just, like, smile, and in that
Mm,
moment, I was like, "That man won. That man has won Survivor," because he had this, like, aura of, like,
yeah.
"I'm the winner." And he didn't say anything, he didn't do anything, he just it was this feeling I had in my gut, and I went, "That man won Survivor. I know it. I know it."
He just has winner energy, like, he
Yes.
has and he just, like, seems like such a nice
BWE, big
guy.
winner energy.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um,
So, what do you think how do you think this season, hypothetically, if it ended up tying between Eva and Kyle, and Joe cast the deciding vote, how do you think people would have felt about this season if that happened?
I think casuals would have loved it.
Mhm.
I think other people like us would have maybe not loved it as much. I think it would
Yeah.
feel probably a little bit like Ghost Island.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I like Ghost Island, I like Wendell, like, I don't okay, let me rephrase that. I think Ghost Island is fine. I like Wendell a lot. Um, I think Wendell and Dom play a very great winning game together. And I just yeah, I think that the casuals, the Facebook moms would have absolutely adored it. Like, "Oh, he meant what he said. He's sticking up for her," all that stuff. I think it would have been a hard vote for Joe. I think Joe it would have been difficult for him because I think that Joe
Oh.
really respects Kyle, and I think Joe maybe sees a lot of himself in Kyle, and they had a lot of really very real talks about, if you listen to their exit press about their, similar, upbringings where his dad, I think they said, like, Joe's dad was incarcerated at one point, and Kyle obviously has talked about how he was incarcerated, and I think, I think it would have been a hard vote for him to cast because I think it's two people that he felt very close to, but I think he probably would have ended up giving it to Eva.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think he I was thinking it would kind of been easier for him. I think he would have given it to Eva,
Yeah.
like, easily, but I think that would have been I I think, like, the Twitter fans and Reddit probably would have not enjoyed that at all, and I feel like it might have had, like, a similar reaction to 46 in a way of, like, maybe not being happy with I mean,
Yeah.
never mind, I can't 46 is such a different type of reason, I guess, why people feel a way about it, but I feel
Yeah.
like this could have had, like, a similar reaction.
Yeah. I think people would have been upset probably. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm, obviously happy how it ended up. And I think I want to talk about how the jury ended up voting, right? Cedric voted for Joe.
Mhm.
Which was Cedric keeping us on our toes until the very end.
He
I'm
always
very,
is.
I'm very happy he voted for Joe because I was very happy that it was every single person got a vote, which was very
Yeah.
exciting. Has not happened since I don't know, since like 35
The
maybe. Did everyone get a vote
I
in
think
Heroes of the
so.
Crossroads? I can't remember, but it hasn't
Cedric
happened in a
voting
while.
for Joe, it made sense that he voted for him, and Joe didn't deserve to be a zero vote finalist, you know? I mean, a lot of the other zero vote finalists didn't deserve it either, but I feel like Joe, like, he deserved a vote, you know?
Yeah, I'm so happy he got one. Um, uh, Noticing no one's mad that Cedric voted for Joe based on his story. 46 haters.
Good point, good point.
Whatever. But I'm happy somebody voted for Joe. I'm glad it was Cedric.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And
good.
also, like, I feel like Cedric was in a weird position for his vote. Like, he didn't really play with any of the people in the final 3. He was the first juror. Like, he only goes off of what other people are saying and then the final tribal really. So I feel like it makes complete sense he would vote for Joe in
Yeah.
the end after
And
all
Cedric's
that.
just an unpredictable guy. He's just an unpredictable
Yeah.
guy. Like shooting from the hip. Not
He
totally
loves
sure what
voting
he's
for the other person.
what.
He loves voting for the other person or, you know,
Yeah.
not the person that everyone else is thinking.
Absolutely. And then Eva got 2 votes, which was also shocking. She got Star's vote,
It was
and she got Mary's vote, which is also really shocking.
shocking, yeah. I was surprised by that.
I was very surprised by that, and I think I haven't listened to this quite yet, but, her exit press, Eva's exit press with Rob Has a Podcast and others, apparently shows that she was way more strategic than we got to see.
Mm,
And I think that a lot of the edit, I don't know why they edited her in the way that they did. But I think getting 2 votes is a very big deal. Um,
yeah.
and you know, obviously, I'm shocked Star voted for her because she was a part of getting Star out, and Star was the one that gave her an idol. Um, and also Mary, but I think Mary makes a lot of sense because I think they talked about how Mary and Eva were a lot closer than we saw.
Yeah.
Um, and Mary made a video saying like, if I was able to see everything that I saw now, I probably wouldn't have voted for Eva. I probably would have voted for Kyle, but I'm happy I did anyway, which I respect. Um,
Yeah.
Again, happy that she got 2 votes. Happy everyone got a vote.
Yeah. I mean, the Mary one, I wasn't too surprised because we did see, like, a little glimpse into their relationship and them out there. I was more surprised with the Star vote, but I mean, Star doesn't know everything that happened out there while you're out there, you know, watching back, your opinion of what would have happened would change, you know, but it is interesting how everything is edited.
Yep,
You know, we don't know the full thing.
absolutely, absolutely. And then obviously Kyle getting 5 votes. So getting whose vote? Chrissy, Camilla,
Dave
Shaheen, David, uh,
David,
who am I forgetting? Mitch
Mitch.
and Mitch. Which again, I'm kind of shocked Mitch didn't vote for Joe or Eva. I felt like
Hmm,
that was I don't know. I think I didn't really see Kyle and Mitch's like bond more, and I don't know. There was just
yeah.
something that I just kind of felt like Mitch's vote could have been in the air, but he did a great job at Final Tribal Council, so it makes sense. But,
Yeah.
5-2 to 1 is a pretty good outcome.
It is, and it's exciting, like, hearing they all got 1 vote in the beginning, and then it's tied again. That was
Yeah.
so exciting because I mean, honestly, really any of them could have won,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
think about it. Like, sometimes it's like, okay, this person, like, probably has no chance of winning, but, like, there really could have been a situation this season where any of them could have won, you
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. I'm super high on the season. I know that not everyone
mhm.
is. I know that a lot of people are upset. I am not one of those people. I was really happy. I was really, really happy with the win.
Me
And
too.
I think that it bookended the season really, really well. And I'm just sad it's over, but happy it happened, you know?
I know. I'm glad we have 48.
Me too, me too. And I will always and now granted, you know, my opinions of, Survivor seasons, you know, take them with a grain of salt because I always associate different Survivor seasons with different, like, moments in my life because I am a Survivor, you know, podcaster, content creator, all of that stuff,
Mhm.
and, you know, w there are times like, there are seasons that mean a lot to me because of what was going on in my life or what, you know, different relationships I have with the players or whatever else, but
Yeah,
and this might be one of those cases, but I think that this one was very good.
I agree. I
Oh,
know, I'm like, is it because I just, like, really like the cast and have, like, been around them? Is that why I like it so much? But I feel like I would like it just as much either way.
exactly, I agree, I agree. We do have some questions that were sent in, but before we get to the questions and before we get to our commercial, do you have any more, like anything that you want to talk about that we didn't bring up?
Hmm. I guess well, should we talk about the after show just a little bit and some
Yes,
things that were mentioned on there?
please do.
I feel
I
like
don't remember the after show that well, so Kara, you take the lead.
I mean, one of the big things that happened was, Kyle and Camilla found out that Thomas had to steal a vote during that round, which was a surprise to them. Jeff found out the proper way to drink milk.
Ugh.
That was a big
I'm
deal.
happy this season is over just so that we don't have to hear about milk anymore. Thank God.
Did it
Milk
just
talk
go
will
down in
end it.
ratings?
What?
It went down in your rankings now.
Yeah, I actually take it back. I hate the season. This is my least favorite season of all time because of the milk.
They talked about Mitch's potential future dating life. That was interesting.
What? Did not okay, so
Mhm.
I saw the milk thing, I saw the votes, I did not was not there for I didn't see the part where they talked about Mitch's dating life?
They
What?
did. They talked about Mitch a lot, you know, um, like what they think the viewers are gonna think about Mitch, how he's gonna be like a fan favorite and everyone is going to really love Mitch, and then his, possible dating future
Oh, that makes me
post
really
game.
sad. I love Mitch, because I've been able to meet Mitch, he's a great guy.
Mhm.
Um, that I don't like that, that makes me sad. People were so mean to Mitch.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like those are like the 3 big things that I remember from it.
yeah.
Milk, dating, and
And
the
Mary
vote
holding a whole
deal.
bottle of Prosecco.
Yes,
As
and
she
that.
should. Queen behavior. I am really hoping that season 50, we actually have a true, like, reunion, like a true good reunion.
Me too. I this after show thing is, like, fine, but, like, it really does make such a difference when the players get to watch the season back and then come and talk about it and have their perspective on what happened in the moment and then watching it back and seeing all of that.
Yep,
It it's just so interesting, and I feel like this cast would have had so much to say.
yep.
It would have just been so, so good
Totally
because
agree, and also we don't know, did Kyle get his wart taken off? Was he able to do that? We don't know. What
so
this
true.
this is, I think, a huge argument. We wanna close the book on Kyle's wart story. Let us know, is it gone? Should
Well,
I
now
hey,
he has
guys,
$1,000,000.
should
He
I ask
could
should I get a cameo from Kyle, and ask if he got his wart taken off? Let me know in the comments if I should do that.
yes. His $1,000,000 now he can remove all the warts.
Remove them. That's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. No, I think that this
Mhm.
is meant one of the many seasons that just proves we need to have an after show. And shameless
Yeah.
plug electric over here on TikTok has a great point saying, I'm fine for the votes being revealed in Fiji and the live reunion the next week. I think that that's the big thing. So, like, I think
Mm.
I'm totally fine with them revealing the votes in Fiji. I'm totally fine with them doing an after show, like a 20-minute after show or something. But then immediately then cut to a live reunion in LA. They're hosting an event
Yeah.
in LA anyway, where the majority of the cast is there. So just do it.
Literally.
Just literally just do it. It's actually crazy because it could be
Literally.
15 minutes of immediate reactions, immediate thoughts. Why did you vote this way? And then the next 45 minutes of the hour is an actual live show. You don't have to read the votes. You don't have to do whatever. It's just a live show.
Mhm.
Do it.
And, like, in the after show, like, there really isn't that much they can talk about besides, like, what really just happened, you know? There would be so much more to talk about in a live reunion after the fact, after the finale airs.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. Agreed. I think, and I will also say, like, I like the votes being read in Fiji. I don't really care one way or the other. I will say though,
yeah.
I love having the votes, like the live votes being read with the live reaction with their family right there. A round of applause, like when
Mhm.
Kyle wins, and it's just like that's what
Yeah.
it sounded like. It was just like a couple of claps. Like it kind of awkward. It was kind of awkward.
It is. I don't yeah. I mean, I don't mind the boat reveal in Fiji, whatever. I don't mind it. It is, I think, more exciting when there are people there, but then again, like, in Australian Survivor, when they have, like, the one family or friend come out, I feel like that's always so awkward.
And
So,
in Australian Survivor, you probably know this, but in Australian Survivor, they record multiple winners.
yeah,
So then you have to like act like you've lost and then also act like you've won and only
so
one of them
awkward.
wins. Like that's so awkward. That's so
That's
awkward.
awkward. I think having the one family member or the friend there is awkward.
Whole
I think
thing.
everything about that is awkward, but
The whole thing. The
I
whole
don't know.
thing. I have shameless plug. I have a what's it? Once Upon an Island. The YouTuber asked me to do a little blurb of like how to fix Survivor. And
Mm,
uh, I don't want to spoil what I said, but basically I talked about Australian Survivor challenges, and I had to go. I do prefer American Survivor over Australian Survivor, which I know is a hot take, but I like their challenges more. I basically had to like tell everybody my feelings about Australian Survivor, but like that ending, Australian Survivor is crazy to me. It's so cringe.
it really is.
Imagine like Ferris and Caroline. It was Ferris and Caroline, right? At the end. And just like, oh God, I hate thinking about it. I actually am like like cringing talking about it. I hate it.
And, like, the fact that they have that moment of, like, being the winner and then it not being real,
Ugh.
I feel like it's probably even so much harder to, like, comprehend, you know? Like, you had that moment, everyone's excited, you're excited, you won, and then it's like, "Actually, no, this person won." Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
it's
don't
so
know.
good. It's
And
so good.
I don't know, the family member just being there really that's it for me, I don't like that, I think
I
it's so
hate it.
weird.
I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. Oh my God. Um, okay. We do have some questions that were sent in. So just stick around if you want to ask us any questions about 48, 49, Survivor as a whole, 50. We will chat about all of it coming up right after this commercial. So stick around and we'll see you in just a sec.
What's up, guys? I'm Todd Herzog, the winner of Survivor China, and I am here with Survivor Now podcast, the best source for Survivor information, to show off what I do for a living. So I make custom Funko Pops. If you haven't seen or heard, you can check it out on Instagram at Todd's Pop Shop, or you can message me, toddspopshop@gmail.com, to order your own. And if you mention this podcast, you will get $10 off and a free torch. So it's pretty freaking awesome. I'm going to show you a few right now. We've got Troyzan here, Phil from The Amazing Race, JLP, host of Australian Survivor, and look, little Charlie. Anybody you could possibly imagine or want yourself playing an LRG or an ORG, or just with your loved one or family or pets or anything like that, shoot me a message. I'm happy to make it. You also have the chance to win a free custom pop if you sign up for Survivor Now Podcast Fantasy League. So it's pretty awesome. And it's fun. Like, who doesn't want to be a part of that? So yeah, hit me up, get your custom pops. It's great holiday gifts, great birthday gifts. We got a new season of Survivor right around the corner. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited. Let's get this going.
All right, it's time for the Survivor Social Hour, one of my favorite parts of the podcast. So I'm going to get into some of the questions that were sent in. Zan says, what would you tell people your job is if you were out there? I'd probably make some crazy job like I do dogs makeup for movies. Kara, what would you say you do?
I would probably say something really simple to like limit any questions about it. I mean, I don't think I would have to lie about my job if I was out there, so I don't think that would like I'm not a lawyer or anything, so I don't think I would come into this, situation. But I'd probably want to make it as simple as possible to avoid any questions. What about you?
I would say my job. So I'm not exactly like I'm
Yeah.
not a police officer. I'm an events director at a restaurant. Like I don't have a very crazy job. The thing that I would need to figure out how to spin is the content because
Mm.
I now know that people will see me when they go out there. Little known fact that I maybe have told here before. Camilla called Bianca Survivor TEG in her preseason, like before they could meet them. She in her
Oh,
notes called her Survivor Tag. So like I am there is the odds of one person knowing me is probably pretty high. So I would have to figure
yeah.
out a way to spin that, I think. Which
Ooh,
is scary. I think I would just say, yeah, I would like be like, what would I do? I'm not going to tell people to hide that from other people.
yeah.
Because I think that makes it seem a little bit more threatening. I think if it comes up, I just go, "Oh my god, yeah, crazy, right?" I don't
At
know what
that
I'm
point, you
doing.
just own it,
Yeah, I think
right?
just own it. Because, like, if you don't, I think it makes it look worse, personally.
Mhm.
Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I look how threatening I am." I'm not threatening. Yeah, I can talk the talk, but I cannot walk the walk, let me tell you that. So,
Yeah,
you
and it's
know
everyone's first time out there playing, so, like, assuming it was everyone's first time out there playing, so you're all still in the same playing field, even playing
exactly.
field.
Exactly. So I think, yeah, I think really truly the only advantage I would have if I ever went on Survivor is if I was playing with returning players.
Yeah.
Like if I was on like a
Mhm.
fans versus favorites team tribe, season, pardon me, I think that could be really bad for me because I would, if any of the fans had ever seen any of my content, th- they would know that I probably knew a couple of them on the other side and they'd be like, "Oh, alliance," and not good. Not good for
But
team.
that could be beneficial to the other people, thinking, "She has connections over there, I wanna be on her good side," "I wanna
Maybe,
align with her."
maybe.
So
Maybe. So that's my big thing. But like an events director at a restaurant is nothing. I think, and
mhm.
I've also gone on record saying, I don't think you should lie about your job. I think having to lie about a pretty big aspect of your life, I think would be very difficult. And if you get caught in the lie, I think it's a risk. It's a big risk.
Yeah. Well, never mind. I was gonna say I feel like this happened, but I can't remember who exactly it was, or if it was on Big Brother.
It
So,
did. No,
I can't
it was
remember.
on Survivor. On Millennials versus Gen X. I think it was Millennials Gen
Yes,
X.
I
What's his name? Who was a cop, said he was
yeah.
a funeral director, and Hannah and like Jay were like, I've run away from that guy on a Florida beach. Like
Was
that's
it
guy.
Brett?
It was
Or
Brett. It was Brett Lavelle.
it
Yeah,
was, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
And so like, yeah, like if you get caught, then you're like, why are you lying about this? It's so silly, kind of a thing. I
yeah,
think Tony lied about it too, at one point, but I don't think he got caught. I mean, he got caught by Sarah Lucina, who was also a cop, but I just think it's risky. The lawyers are not getting
it
caught
is.
though. Julie lied, Katura lied, now Kyle lied. Lawyers aren't getting caught.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
I mean,
Um,
good for the lawyers.
Good for the lawyers. Good for the lawyers. This is not a question, but it was a comment. M over here on TikTok said Jen McAllister is back live on Twitch saying she was not on Survivor. Yeah, she definitely was not on Survivor. Crazy that she's going live on Twitch now, though.
That
Like
timing, though, is
crazy,
crazy.
crazy. Right after 49 gets back. She's definitely not because she's not on the lead cast list. Like she's definitely not a survivor. Not me like starting a huge rumor. So sorry. I
That
think
was
she
crazy.
I think she talked about it. Apparently, she brought the video up on her live or something. And I'm like, sorry, my bad. Maybe. I really
Wait,
thought
that's
it
so
was
funny.
I don't know. I saw it on Reddit. and maybe I shouldn't
I
trust
mean,
everything I see on Reddit.
I feel like it was, like, a valid theory, you know, and she was gone the same amount of time as the filming. Like, where was she? What was she doing?
Which is nuts. That's actually nuts. She was gone the same amount of time. The fact that she's back is insane. Can anybody tell me, does she look skinny? Does she look tan? Is she tan and really skinny? Let me
Mhm.
know. It's crazy. Sorry, everybody for
That's so
starting that.
funny.
Personal apologies to Jen. My bad, my B. You live and you learn, I guess.
You know,
Crazy.
it
Go
it
ahead, go
could
ahead.
have been. It could have been. I don't even know what I
It
was gonna
did.
say.
And
It could have been real.
I wanted to be ahead of the curve. I wanted to be the one to be like, "Look, guys, I told you."
What if she
Instead,
was cast and then your video went out and then you're the reason she's not on? I'm just kidding.
no, but they'd already been filming at this point. They had already been filming when I made the video. I swear to God.
Okay, so
I
you
swear.
didn't ruin her chances.
I didn't. I swear. I don't think I did. If anything, I think if she didn't get on the show, if anything, I
You
think
probably helped her.
it helped her because everyone was like, "Yes, I'll watch Survivor now. My queen, I love her." Like, oh, I've never thought of watching Survivor, but I love her so much. I'll watch Survivor. So, like, Survivor casting, cast Jen. I don't know if she wants
So
to be
when
on.
you and Jen are on the same season together, then what?
She's my shield. There we go. We're on the same tribe together. She's my shield. She's a bigger threat than me. Love.
Mhm.
That is so funny. Oh my god. I can't believe that she's streaming again. That's actually crazy. Okay,
That's
I'm done.
crazy.
Oh, okay. Okay, we have this other question. This was sent in via TikTok. Andrews asked, "Do you think Survivor 49 won't be that good considering they're announcing the cast for 50 so early?"
No, I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I just think they don't want the 50 cast to get spoiled
Yeah,
before they can announce it first,
which already happened. But
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly what it is because they fly out. I believe they fly out to Fiji on Wednesday, which was the date that was I had heard about for a long time. And so I genuinely think that they were just like, okay, the fans are going to get it anyway. Let's just use this to our advantage.
Yeah. I think
Basically.
49's gonna be good. Why not? Why
I
would it be
think
bad?
exactly. I think that if anything, 50 is going to help 49. And then everyone goes, but 39 was so bad. 39 didn't have to be bad. One guy ruined 39, not
Yeah.
40 coming up next. One guy ruined 39. And I think that 49 has potential to be good. And I think the hype of 50 will be like, I'm telling all of my friends who don't watch Survivor, who used to watch Survivor, watch it. Watch it now.
Yeah.
Get into it. And especially because the rumor is now we're going to have one or two people from 49 on 50, which is dumb. I don't like it. But I think
That's a good
that's
sign. It's probably gonna be entertaining at least.
exactly. Exactly. So I have faith. I don't think it's going to be that big. 29, well, I guess 30 wasn't a big season. I was like 29 was so good, but 30 was worlds apart. And 19 wasn't that good. So, I've got some two two seasons trying proving me wrong. But
We don't
I
have to
don't
talk
know.
about
I think
that.
39 is great. We've got Riz
Yeah.
God. How could it be bad?
No, literally, how could it be bad?
Literally, how could it be bad? If Riz God is there, like
It can't be
it's
bad.
impossible for it to be bad. Absolutely impossible. Also, like, who is
Exactly.
he? Why is he called Riz God? Like, I looked him up on TikTok. He's got like no hate, no hate, no shame, no whatever. He's got like 500 followers on TikTok. Is he big on YouTube or something? Or like, is he like big on Instagram?
I
Why is he called Riz God?
I think it has to do with his last name, but I think he also is big in, like, the org and, like, LRG community. Like, he plays a lot of
Okay.
Survivor games.
Okay. Ollie knows Riz God? Oh my
Ooh.
God. I didn't know that we had a celebrity here.
It's
I
just
mean,
so
we do.
funny that that's his name, Rizgod.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you know
I
what we
like
need?
what?
And you know how they had, like, heroes, hustlers, healers, or whatever? They need to do, like TikTok, Twitter, and, like, Twitch or something. Like, that type of like an influencer season with
Ooh,
people like that.
fans would hate that. I think that'd be fun, but
Wouldn't that be so funny?
be really funny, but then I would be on the TikTok one, and I don't
Yeah.
wanna be with the other TikTokers.
Mm.
Uh-uh. No, thank you. I don't wanna be with anybody else. Okay,
You know,
mods versus mods, that's funny.
that's
Um,
funny.
okay, Jeff would put on a Facebook tribe,
Facebook chat, yeah.
nightmare. That
I just said
happened.
those 3 because they started with T's, but, like, you really could do, like, anything.
Yeah, that's crazy, that's so funny. Okay, so we've got some more questions. Dakota asks, "Who do you wanna see back from this season?"
Ooh, Thomas,
Mhm.
for sure. Say, and hmm, and David.
And David. I love that. Yeah, I think I want Camilla back really badly at some point. I think this is a little too early personally, but I would love to have her back. Say definitely, Thomas
Yeah.
definitely. Who else? I think it'd be really interesting to see Shaheen play again. I think
Oh,
Shaheen has
yes.
a very interesting like view on the game. He's so smart, and I would pay to see him go to Final Trouble Council. That man can speak. That man
Yes,
can speak.
completely agree.
So
Shaheen, put him on
Shaheen,
50.
yeah, put him on 50. And I love Kyle. I would see Kyle back again. If the rumors are
Yeah,
true, the Ree from 48 is actually crazy to me.
that is crazy. I'm like, I would love to see Kyle again. I don't wanna see him this soon, though. Like, he just had this, like, great game, great win. Like, it's too soon
I
for
agree.
that. Even with
I
Camilla, it's like same thing. Later on, not now.
Okay, we have this question from Chris. Chris asks, question for you both. How have you not cried during this podcast? I came here from real tears, LOL.
I know.
One thing about me is I am a crier, except for when you would expect me to cry.
It's so real.
When I feel like I'm definitely gonna cry, I typically don't.
Yeah.
And then I'll cry
Me
like tomorrow grocery shopping, remembering that, I'm not gonna be on here, next Sunday.
Yeah. No, that's so real. Um, we're sad.
We're
Don't
very
think don't
sad.
think we're not.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Being sad would, I think, overshadow enjoying the last pod.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Smile because it happened. Now that's gonna make me cry, Kara. Stop.
And I just wanna say, I would love to see Kevin back. I see that comment there.
Kayvon,
Love Kevin.
we love
Yes,
Kayvon. We
love
love
him.
Kayvon. Bring back Kayvon immediately. Um, okay, so we have another question from TikTok. Sorting Hat 98 says, "What are your thoughts on people saying Cedric voted wrong at Final Tribal Council? The point of Final Tribal Council is the majority." Who is saying
Is
he
it?
voted wrong?
Can
He
you vote
voted
wrong at Final
differently.
Tribal?
Yeah, he voted differently as to how I would have voted, but there's no such thing as voting wrong at Final Tribal Council.
No, you vote for who you think who
Exactly.
you want the winner to be, you know?
Exactly.
That's what it is.
I fear that's the point of Survivor. I fear that's almost the how the game was created. Yeah, there's no such thing as voting
Y
wrong at Final Tribal Council, which is
no,
why there's no such thing as an undeserving winner because there's no such thing as voting wrong at Final Tribal Council. But
'cause everyone voted for who they wanted to win. That's how
exactly.
it is.
Yeah, Paco Man says votes are a matter of opinions, not fact. Exactly. Each
Mhm.
person could vote however they want to vote. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no such thing. So good question, but there's the point of winning is or the point of this season is just to get the majority of votes. And if you don't get the majority of the
yeah,
votes, you don't have to be in the majority to be right. Everyone voted correctly. They followed their heart. They voted how they want to vote.
yeah.
They didn't vote
And
wrong.
Cedric voting for him wasn't crazy, like, it made sense.
It made sense.
That
I
was the vote that made the most sense that Cedric has cast all season.
literally love Cedric, but like literally. And also like I'm glad there was no zero vote finalist. Like, thank you,
Yeah,
Cedric, for voting for Joe. Like,
Mhm.
imagine if people had voted for Carolyn, you know? Carolyn wouldn't have been like Carolyn should not have been a zero vote finalist. There are people that should
Yeah.
not have been zero vote finalists. And um I
Jake, Owen, Ben,
all of them, really. Michelle Fitzgerald is the one.
Michelle.
Michelle, the
That's
fact
so
that Michelle
true.
is a zero vote finalist is actually should be illegal. Sorry.
That is crazy.
Actually, people should be arrested for not voting for her. They did vote wrong. I take it all back.
They did. That's a fact, not an opinion.
That is a fact. People are gonna in the comments gonna be like, "You just said." Okay.
This is the exception.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Shogun says first non-zero vote finalist since Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. We love that. We love that. Chris goes, imagine voting for who you think should win at Final Triple Council. Crazy. That's actually
Crazy
crazy.
concept.
Crazy concept. Crazy concept. This is very true. Also, Chris says the super fans have been begging for everyone to get votes at Final Chapel. The
So
one time it
true.
happens, they hate. If there's one thing about Survivor fans is that we're gonna be mad. We're gonna be upset.
Yeah.
We say we want one thing. Tomorrow we go, how dare you actually do that thing that we
Just like the fire making challenge. Get rid of it. We actually loved it this season.
Oh my
But you know
god.
what? I love the zero vote finalists. Like, I
They're
really
always
like
so
all of
good.
those people. They are.
They're
I feel like
they
that's a
always
fun club to be in.
it's a really fun club to be in. They always slap. They're
Yeah.
always
If
like
I'm not a winner, I'd
good
want to be in
people.
the zero vote finalist club.
Yeah, literally. Because they're always good people. They're always like, yeah, like Nora, crazy. You know, we love her. Angelina, icon.
Mhm.
Icon. Great club to be in.
Such a great group of people.
Such a great group of people.
And they have such a good attitude about it too, where it's
Yeah.
just fun.
My hot take is Angelina's gonna win 50. That's my hot take.
Ooh. That would be great.
Name a better outcome. Name a better outcome. I dare you. I dare
I
you.
don't think it's possible.
It's impossible. That is the best outcome to happen for 50.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If she doesn't win, automatic L. Automatic L.
Imagine she's first boot, you jinxed it.
Oh my god. If Angelina has first boot, I swear to God. I do fear that Christian Hubicki is gonna be Yao Manned. I fear Christian Hubicki is
Ooh.
gonna be Rob Sister Nino. Like I fear he's gonna be gone soon, which I am preparing myself for emotionally because I did have a mental breakdown when he was voted out during David versus Goliath. I was unwell.
Mhm.
I was mad. I said things I
Yeah.
regret.
But you know
Um
what? He got to be on the White Lotus, and I feel like after all of that, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And imagine if Angelina goes out first and someone gives her the jacket. I would die. I would
They all
die.
just stand up and hand her jacket.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think there should be a reward. I feel like rewards this season should be tailor-made for one person. So like Christian Hubicki's reward is Emily gets flown out. No other loved ones, but like if Christian's team does not win, Emily goes with them. So it's like it doesn't matter who wins, like it's just Emily. Chrissy's reward is she watches Ben Driebergen lose fire making. And that's her reward. But if she doesn't win that reward, like her team, like someone else has to watch that happen. And for Angelina,
That'd be so
it's just a
funny.
jacket. It's specifically Natalie's jacket. They actually bring it back. And
Natalie's there with the jacket.
Natalie's there with the jacket. And if her tribe does not win reward, the other tribe's getting a jacket, and that's on their loss. So that I think that would be
That is
genius.
so funny.
Sh-
Yeah.
yeah, Joe. David's not there. Shameless plug. Electric goes. Joe's reward is just milk. He said David's, but yeah, Joe's reward is milk.
Literally.
Camilla's
That's so
reward
funny.
is a flint that works. All of that good stuff.
Literally. But you know what? Well, I was gonna go back to fire, but we don't have to go back to fire.
You can talk about it.
What's worse, the flint not working or having a flame and the wind blowing your flame like to the side and it doesn't
The
even
wind. I think the wind is worse personally because it's there. It's like you have the fire there. But
Yeah.
the flint not working is frustrating, or like you not being able to get that original spark is frustrating, But like, I think the wind is like Mother Nature. What have I done to you? What have I personally done to you to spite me like this? You know?
Yeah, the wind.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question though.
Wind is never good.
Wind is never good. Bree Fit for Survivor over here on TikTok asked, real talk, do you think the rewards will be better next season? Bring back the Outback sponsor. Do you think that we're going to have better rewards next
Ooh,
season? I think we will.
yeah, I think so.
If this is a Survivor, if this is a celebration of Survivor, which is what they originally said this was going to be, I think big rewards is how one of the ways you celebrate. You know, if you're, you know, bring back the Home Depot toolkit, bring back the like Downy or the Charmin toilet, bring back the Coca-Cola fridge, you know, bring back sponsors. Sorry.
Bring a car.
Bring back the car reward. Literally. Literally.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I think the rewards will be good.
I hope so.
Bring
I
back
hope
the car curse. Yeah.
bring it back. Bring it back. On the 50 talk, Dakota asked a while back, are you ready for the 50 cast reveal Wednesday?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think this will be the one day that I'm excited to wake up early.
I'm dreading it. Here's the thing, because I'm just like, these rumors are making me really sad. And like the
But maybe
fact,
it's fake.
I don't think it is. I don't think that Jerry's there. I don't think Rob Cesternino's there. I don't think Amanda's there. I think that Coach is there, which is something, I guess. Like, there are people there that I want to see back, but like, there are people there that I don't need back. And there are other people that I feel like deserve to be back.
Yeah. It's kinda scary,
I'm ready for
but
it to happen, but I just need it mainly because I just want it to be over.
yeah. And then so then we have the cast, but then we have to wait how long for the season to actually air?
February 2026, probably. I know.
Hmm,
I know. It's gonna be brutal. It's going to be brutal.
yes.
Um, okay, we have some more questions. Okay, this is Big Shogunao says, Tegwyth, putting people from 49 on 50 is dumb. People from 7 on 8, 15 on 16, 19 on 20, 25 on 26, 30 on 31, 33 on 34. What's dumb about it? I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb always, kind of. Like, I think it's a little bit of an unfair advantage. Russell would not make it that far. He was the only one that got brought back from 19 to 20. He would not have made it that far if people knew anything about his game. Uh, you know, I think that you know, same thing with 15 on 16, like Amanda goes far. James goes pretty far. Like, people go far because you just don't totally know how the game is going to work because you've never seen it before. And I think two people from 49 on 50, I think in my head, 50 was a different kind of season. 50
Mhm.
was like a celebration of Survivor, where in my head, what this meant was we would get people from all different types of, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 new era, but everybody else coming from, you know, like old school and new school type seasons, and we'd be celebrating Survivor in this way. Obviously, that's not how it's happening, right? I just think that 2 out of probably 24 is a really big, you know, number. Maybe 1 I'd be okay with, but I just think that these 2 people have kind of an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I feel like it is different with 50 because 50 is such a it's a big deal, you know? And it's different when it's just like a regular, like 15 to 16, you know?
Yeah, agreed. Do you think it's good to have some 49ers on that's funny. I didn't put that together till just now. It's like the football team. If you're on season 49, use that to your advantage, I guess.
Mhm.
But so how do you want to see a bunch of 49ers on there or no? Are you okay?
No. Yes, I don't know why I'm, like, dying right now.
Oh,
No, I don't even really wanna see anyone from 48 on it, you know?
same.
Like, there's so many other people, and, like, there are people from 48 I wanna see back, and I'm sure there's people from 49 that I'm gonna wanna see again, but, like, not on 50.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, later
Second
on.
chances. I hope they do a second chances or
Mhm.
something soon because that would be great. But like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not needing that. Okay. Big Shoguno also says, question for Kara and Tegwyth. Is there anyone winning 50 who would disappoint you? Yeah. I don't want to see a coach win. I don't necessarily want to see an Aussie win.
Mhm.
Sorry,
I
hot
would like to
take.
see, like I mean, I don't know if I'd wanna see another winner win again.
I would be if the two
I
winners
guess
going
maybe it
out there,
depends.
if the two winners going out there are D and Kyle, I low key would be okay with either of them winning. Low key.
Oh, are they
Um,
the only 2 past winners that are being rumored?
according to this list, and we don't know what happens on 49, so but according to this list, they're the only two winners.
Okay, actually, you know what? I would be interested in that. I would be interested to see how they would do because I feel like they'd have to play a different game, so I guess I'd be okay with them winning. I take that back.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I probably I think I'd be kind of bored to see Suri win. I like Suri a lot, but she's
Oh,
won so
yeah.
much recently and, like, went really far for so much. Not she's won one thing, but, um 2 things?
Is
2
it bad
things.
that I don't really wanna see Surya on 50?
No, that's not bad at all. I totally agree with that. Like, we're getting her on Australia versus the world in, like, a month. I don't necessarily need to see her play American Survivor again. I love her to death, and if you asked me this 4 years ago, I would have said something completely different, but, I saw her on Traders, I saw her on Snake in the Grass, I saw her on Big Brother. We're gonna see her on
Yeah,
Australia versus the World. I love that she's
it's a
doing
lot.
this, but it's so much. It's so much.
It's too
Who
much.
else who else would I think I think those are the people that I think would be kind of disappointing to see win. But also, I wouldn't be that mad.
Yeah, and I also feel like it depends on how the game ends up turning out, you know? Like, we don't know what game these people are gonna play,
Yeah.
so maybe we wouldn't be disappointed in someone winning.
Exactly, exactly, and we don't know the list for sure, right? The lists that we're seeing, I think the
Yeah,
majority of the people are correct. I don't think everybody is correct. So, we'll find out in 24 hours, basically. 36 hours.
yeah.
Um, okay. Astrid asks, "What's your dream 50 challenge?" Mine is kind of dumb, having to watch the uncut Becky and Sandra fire making challenge. That's so funny. The challenge is just watching them make fire. That's hysterical. I think I would love to see a lot of classic challenges be brought back. Like
Mhm.
I love Last Gasp. I love Samotion. But I also, like I said earlier in the pod, like I like a lot of the Australian Survivor challenges. So I think that there would be really fun,
Yeah.
things if they did new things.
Mhm. I want, like, endurance challenges where you have to outlast the other people, like, where they keep their hand on something or whatever.
I love Hands on a Hard
I would
Idol.
like
I
that.
love it. I love Hands
Yeah.
on a Hard Idol. It's so good. Um, okay, and then we have another question from Big Shoguno, also about 50. Who are we rooting to win season 50? Well, I already said Angelina. I adore her.
Mhm. Um, was Charlie's rumored, right? I'll say Charlie. I
Charlie,
love
I would
Charlie.
love. Who else? I mean, I would love a Christian Hubicki win. Don't think it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
would love a Christian Hubicki win. Would love a Chrissy win.
Um,
Oh my god, I think Chrissy's probably
mm.
number 1 on my list. Um, if
Who
Tiffany
else
is
is rumored?
rumored if Tiffany's actually rumored,
Mhm.
I would love a Tiffany win. I mean, if
Mhm.
Tiffany's actually there because she was rumored, I would love a Tiffany win. Um, Jenna, I think it'd be really cool for Jenna to win. Jenna, what's her name from
Mm.
season 1? I think that'd be
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
feel like someone from, like, the older seasons would be so exciting to see win. Not that
Brian,
it's not exciting for newer people to win, but I don't know.
Brian, I like this take. Hear me out. Charlie wins so haters can leave Kenzie alone. Would love that. I think it might make it worse.
Yeah. I I mean, well, we don't have to get into this whole thing again.
Our podcast, what we talk about on our podcast is the episode and season 46. That's what we talk about here.
Literally.
Yeah, I think
I
that
had a
there could
point,
be
but
I think that there could be a lot of really fun winners. And I really
yeah.
this is okay, Paco Man has a great point. I don't want it to be a winners at war 2.0 where all of the, older winners got out really early and it was just a bunch of new
Yeah.
people. So I don't want that. I don't want that. I do think it's going to happen because I think a lot of people are going to be really caught off guard with a 26-day game, especially because it's probably going to be 24 people.
Yeah. It's kind of
So,
favored, I guess, for the
mhm,
new era
yeah.
players.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
don't know. And I guess it depends on how the tribes are split up and everything. The initial tribe breakdown.
Sorry, somebody over here on TikTok, I just remember, commented over here. Apparently, in Jen McAllister's apparently she posted a YouTube video about the Survivor rumors, and apparently I'm in it.
Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to watch after this. Kyle's
I
telling his wife is second.
I have to go look that up. I'm so embarrassed.
Wait, I kind of love this, like, you and Jen, like, little story you have going. Like, I feel like you guys are about to be best friends after
Are
this
we gonna be
now.
besties? That's so embarrassing. I'm so red. That's so funny. I never wanted to be a part of the misinformation of the internet, and I am leading the charge of the 49 misinformation. That's horrific. That's horrific. That's
That's
horrific.
so funny.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Whoops, my bad.
That's
Uh,
so funny.
okay, sorry, I got distracted there for a second. That's brutal. I'm so embarrassed. Okay.
You know, if Kyle and Camilla are both on 50, that's
No,
kind of crazy, I feel
that's not
like.
fair.
That's
That's not fair.
crazy.
I think that's not fair. I think they're gonna be I think that's the big thing. I think think about Gabon players on season 20 on Heroes versus Villains. Sugar was out what?
Mhm.
First, Randy was out like fourth.
It's not
It's
good.
because they're at the front of mind. That's because they remembered. With
Yeah.
Micronesia, Yao Man was 14 to 16. Yao Man was like the second guy out because he was remembered because it just happened. Um,
It's not
so
fair.
yeah, it stinks.
And, like, and I mean, like, realistically, like, would Kyle and Camilla, I mean, would they really wanna play together again so soon? You know?
No, I
Like,
feel
would
like they
Camilla
can't
want
work
Kyle
together.
there again? No,
I
they can't.
they literally can't. I think they're gonna have to go after each other immediately because if they're out there
Yeah.
together, people are gonna be like, well, they're not working together, but they might be, you know?
Mhm, you never know, and, like, I feel like they would want a different experience this next time, especially maybe Camilla, because Kyle won, but,
Yeah.
like, I feel like Camilla would want, I don't know, maybe a different outcome, maybe she would wanna win the you know?
Oh
Not
yeah.
that she didn't wanna win this time, but, like, maybe she wants to be her this time, I don't
I
know.
agree. I agree. I agree. I'm a little I mean, I say I'm upset. I love these people, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm telling I'm posting on Instagram whatever that I'm upset about the cast. It has nothing to do with the individual players. It has nothing to do with the individual players. All it
Yeah.
has to do with is I think people are getting cut that should not get cut. Like the fact that Rob Cesternino is probably not on this season, actually devastating. Actually
Mm,
ridiculous.
that's
Actually,
crazy.
who do I need to beat up?
Mm,
You know what I mean?
so true.
Because again, if this is a celebration of Survivor and we're not bringing back Rob Cesternino, we're not bringing back Amanda Kimmel, we're not trying to figure out a way to pay Colleen to get out there, we're not bringing back Jerry Manthe, why is that? Why are we doing that? That's not a celebration to me. That's like, let's just
No,
let's just get as many new viewers as we possibly can. That's not celebrating the show. That's silly.
it is.
Yeah, Rob not being
Yeah,
on it is devastating.
it is
Apparently,
devastating.
I don't know if it's Rob's choice or not, Ronnie. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it also comes into play, and, like, you can't fault the players for who were asked for saying yes, like,
Yeah.
who's gonna say no?
Who's gonna say no? Literally, who's gonna say
Well, I
no
guess
one?
there are
I mean,
I guess there are people who are saying no,
Army said
but,
no,
like
but, the people who have been playing a lot say no, but I don't know.
yeah,
Just think, yeah, Paco Man Celebration Evolves Forever and half the cast is New Era. From what we know, we could be wrong. We could be wrong,
yeah.
but
I don't remember where I saw it, but it was, like, someone saying, "Imagine, like, all these fake casts going around or just, like, the producers trying to gauge the audience of who they should keep on the cast and who they shouldn't, and, like, that's why, fake casts are being rumored." I don't
that
know.
would be amazing. That would be so good. I don't think that's the case. Did you see Jerry's
Probably not.
post? Jerry's post
Mm-mm.
is heartbreaking. It's like a minute of her in the desert, basically just silently staring out into the distance, just sad. And her
Mm.
caption is just Survivor 50. It's heartbreaking. It's so sad. And it's like, I think that she genuinely wanted to be on it. And the fact Jerry Manthe literally like is Survivor. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. She is the OG villain, even though she's not a villain. And it is actually horrendous that she's not here. And I will be quoted in any article. I will go down saying that. But yeah. Yeah. Also, like how do you
Yeah.
still be there and you don't bring back Jerry? That is crazy.
Like, how are they deciding this? Like, what are these discussions?
It feels like I'm a big Percy Jackson fan. Percy Jackson is what got me to read when I was a kid, because I have dyslexia, and it's about a story about a guy who whatever. So I was very excited for the Percy Jackson movie. So excited! Oh my god! Went to the midnight premiere. There were like
Mhm.
5 people in the theater. It was nothing, but we like got costume shirts. We were so excited. And this movie was trash. This movie had nothing to do with the book. This movie literally could not have been further from the book, right? And we stayed up until probably 5 a.m., me and my friends, 6 a.m., like listing
Mhm.
out all the things that were wrong. And all we said was just put one fan, just put a singular fan in the writing room. And this would not have happened. We would have been like, wrong,
Yeah.
incorrect. People will hate you. No one will go see this. No. All they need is just one fan to be there and be like, you're doing that? That's your decision. Okay. Wrong.
Mhm.
Bad. Why would you do that? That's all they need.
It's true.
Literally, literally. Sorry season 48, we're distracted by 50.
We love 48.
We love 48. We love you.
We wanna see you all back.
Yeah, bring
Just
everybody
48
back.
on 50 again.
Yep, bring everybody back. Love, love, love. LOL. Mm. Okay. Thank you everybody for sending in questions. This was very fun. Very good social hour.
Mhm.
My favorite part of the podcast, except for this next part of the podcast. You're a sweet thing of the episode. All right, Kara, what is a sweet thing?
Okay, so a sweet thing is something in the episode that you enjoyed, whether it was a moment, food, pretty much anything. Anything that brought a smile to your face during the episode is a sweet thing. And I feel like there was, like, a lot this episode, and I feel like we probably talked about all of them already. I don't know, I feel like my favorite moment, though, my sweet thing, is that moment when Camilla was like, "I got you," to Kyle in Final Tribal. It was just such a good moment.
That is a good moment. I love that moment. That's such a good moment. I am probably other than Kyle winning, that was a great moment. We love that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, can I also say everybody on the internet is talking. This is kind of a side note. I just forgot to bring this up. Everyone's like, I love that moment when Eva is so shocked. She's so shocked that Kyle wins. That's not how I viewed that at all. How I viewed that was that she was shocked that she got 2 votes and Joe only got 1.
Mm,
That's how I viewed that. I could be wrong.
yeah.
I obviously could be wrong, but, like,
Even
I
the
think
jury
that
seems surprised she got 2 votes.
yeah, yeah. I think that she was shocked that she got 2 votes, and that when they read the Kyle next, that meant that Joe didn't get any more votes because she knows.
Mhm.
She's smart. She knows how the votes go. She's a fan. That's how I
Yeah.
saw that situation completely because, like, that is like she just was like, "Wow, Joe didn't get any more votes." And then you read Kyle's name again and she's like, "Wow, Joe didn't get any more votes. That means I'm in second place." That's how I saw that because she immediately shot up and gave Kyle a hug. I don't think that
Yeah.
that was her shock that Kyle was winning. I think that was her shock that Joe only got 1 vote. Sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay, I got distracted. I think my sweet thing is either Kyle winning or hear me out, Camilla and Eva eating that reward completely covered in mud.
Ooh, that's a good one, yeah.
Are they not allowed to wash off before they go eat? Camilla
Literally.
had mud in her mouth. She had mud in her mouth.
No, I can't even imagine. I feel like it's probably so uncomfortable sitting there Covered in
Caked in
mud.
dry mud? Are you kidding me? But I think it's a very funny
Yeah.
image of them just, like, caked in mud and eating food. What
Mhm.
was their reward? Was it pasta? I can't remember.
I think so. I also can't
Can't
remember,
remember.
but I
But
feel
I
like
just
that's right.
thought that was very funny. I thought that was a very, like, the tableau just, like, completely covered in mud and eating food, 10 out of 10. But, I mean, I think
So
Kyle
funny.
winning was a pretty high up there moment.
Yeah, that definitely is a good one.
And I also just wanna say, I think Jeff Probst is getting a lot of hate for saying that this is one of his favorite seasons ever. I think that I see what he means. I get it. Imagine being able to watch this in real time, knowing what's going on, knowing that Kyle and Camilla are masterminding things behind the shadows,
Yeah.
behind the curtain. Um, and I think that that's kind of genius. I
Mhm.
get it. I get why he likes it so much. Hot take.
Yeah, and, like, I feel like you can't really compare even 47 and 48, like, they were such different seasons where, like, you can't compare the 2, and 48 was good, Jeff wasn't wrong, season of duos, 2 duos in the final 4,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he kinda ate with that take.
I and you know what? I'll take the heat. People online think that I'm, like, paid by CBS because I'm, like, positive about this season, and I go, "Hey, friends, people can have a different opinion than you. People can have a
Yeah.
different opinion than you, and, I like this season, so sue me." And I think they might be. I think they might be drawing up the papers for, me liking this season. But, I enjoyed it,
How
and
boring would it be if everyone had the same opinion?
how
Like,
boring who would I be mad at? You know what I mean?
it
No,
wasn't a bad season, it was
I think it
good.
wasn't a bad season, especially on the rewatch. I think it's so good. And
Yeah.
and, you know, I think it's just so good. Okay, sorry. I will say that I love this season and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah. No.
Um, okay, it's time for our final award for Survivor Social while I'm here, and it's the Social Butterfly Award.
Why'd I
All right.
almost cry?
Oh, I know. I'm really oof, okay. So the Social Butterfly Award is the award we give to the person we think did the best socially. Typically we do it for the episode, but I think we'll probably do it for the full season. It's Kyle, right?
It's Kyle,
It's
yeah. It has to
Kyle.
be Kyle.
It has to be Kyle. He was so good socially, just like every single I feel
Mhm.
like Kyle won like 9 times.
Yeah.
He's
No, he really did. We gave it to him a lot.
We gave it to him a lot because he knew what he was doing. He
He
connected with
did.
people on such a human level, which obviously you would, you're out there with people 24/7, but I just think that he played such a great game and I think it has to do with his connections, but also his smarts. Like he's such a well-rounded winner
Mhm.
and yeah, he's so good.
He is, and, like, even the fact that, like, Joe and Eva trusted Kyle more who over Shaheen, who they started with Shaheen, like, they've been together so long, and then for them to be like, "You know what, I actually trust Kyle more," that just shows, like, Kyle's social game and, like, what he like, the work he was putting in out there with Joe and Eva, and obviously his relationship with Camilla, so he was putting in the work.
He was putting in I mean, since episode 1, he was putting in the work.
Yeah.
Making that bond with Kevin when he like was pouring the water.
Yes, yeah.
Like he
Oh, that was such a good
literally
moment.
such a good moment, and I just think that he really is such a good winner. He's such a good winner, and I am really happy for him, and he just, like, he did the thing. He
He
did it.
did.
He did it. It was so good. I
He's a
love
great
Kyle
winner.
winning. I love Kyle winning. Oh, man.
Mhm.
Well, Kara, I just wanna say Survivor Social is so much fun, such a highlight of my week, and I
Mhm.
can't believe this is the last one.
I know. It has been so fun getting to do this with you for these past 3 seasons and talking to you each week about Survivor. Like, I'm so glad this happened.
Me too. Me too. I really you know, I think that being able to talk about Survivor in this way where we're just kind of gabbing. We're just
Mhm.
chatting and focusing on just vibes and being able to go where we wanted to go, and the people that we've been able to talk with, pardon me.
Mhm.
And I just think it's been so much fun, and I am so sad it is, our last one here for Survivor Social.
I know. Survivor Now won't be the same without you. You are the best, like, you really your impact here and just in the Survivor community is amazing. It's huge, and, it's been so fun.
Shush. I yeah, it's I think, I joined Survivor Now probably in like 2022. I think it was something around there. I think it was Blood versus Water for Australian Survivor. It was
Mm,
my first thing that I covered. And I think there were like maybe 4 people on the team at that point. Like it was me, Abraham, maybe Phil, maybe Randy, and I think David. Like it was like there was like nobody. Um Maybe it was Will. I can't remember. It was somebody else. And I just like how far Survivor Now has come. The coverage that we put out, the people that are on this team is so like they are so fun to listen to. They're so fun
mhm.
to talk to. Like, and we just have so many good shows and people who love this TV show. And I am very very excited to have been a part of this team for so long. And I just want to say to everybody who is listening, thank you so much for bringing me into your earbuds, your commute to work, your Sunday nights or your Thursday nights or whenever we were able to do it. It was so much fun this whole time. It was just like so much fun to talk to you guys, to get to know you guys. And I'm not going, I mean, I'm still here. You can find me on TikTok, and all of that good stuff. But I'm just Survivor Now will always be my home.
Yeah. It's not over, all
It's
the good things are ahead,
not
so
just what Abe said in the video that made me cry. It's not goodbye. It's
mm,
just later.
yeah, that's the best way to put it,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
So thank you everybody so much for tuning in, for chatting, for making 48 so much fun and all of the other seasons. I'm going to end the podcast as I always do. Kara, where can people find you for the Survivor off season?
Instagram at XOX_Kara.
Love.
That's where I am.
Amazing. I will be on TikTok. You can find me. I'm going to change my name. It's going to be an end of an era. I'm going to change my name from Survivor Simulation to just Tegwyth.
Ooh.
It's gonna happen. I know it's crazy. But find me on TikTok. Find me on Instagram. I love chatting about Survivor. So even during the off season, like hit me up, chat with me. Australia versus the world. It's got a lot of Survivor coming up, so I love to chat about it.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much for listening. As always, don't forget to stay social. We will see you another day. We love you all so much. Have a great night, and thank you so much. Good night.